Today I want to take a look at a Boker Stockman. I got this Stockman, but it had some problems. Okay, the Stockman is just about perfect. There's actually no blade rub going on there. The blades are nicely centered. It's beautiful. Fit and finish is good. Maybe a slightest gap right here. But the knife is put together well. But it does have one serious issue. First of all, there's no problem with these blades. This looks a little different than a spade blade. This reminds me of the reverse Tanto on the Benchmade 940, just smaller. It's got about the same belly and the same type of reverse Tanto. So this to me seems like it's a combination of a pen blade and a spade blade. You also have your sheep's foot, very useful blade, and then your main blade, your clip point, which is also really nice. Now this knife falls in the middle size-wise between a case Stockman and a case medium Stockman. To me, the medium Stockmans are just a little bit too small. I prefer something a little larger, but as a secondary knife, it doesn't have to be a full-size Stockman. So I always carry two knives on me, besides a multi-tool and the screw pop on my keys. So I carry a modern folder, and then I carry a traditional folder. So the modern folder for right now is this Vosteed Nightshade in Nitro V that's in testing. I already had completed the testing on the Nightshade in LMAX, and you should go back a few videos ago and check out that review. That is an excellent knife. And we're seeing how this one compares. But for now, the secondary knife. The secondary knife is dependent on my main knife. If my main knife is a clip point, the secondary knife should not be a clip point. So especially if the secondary knife is a single bladed knife, it should be a Wharncliffe or a sheep's foot. If the primary knife, say, is a Tanto, then the secondary knife should be a clip point or a drop point, something that has some belly to it. So the two knives that are carried together should complement each other as far as their blade shapes, the blade profiles. But what I prefer even more in a traditional, so I'll always carry the modern and then the traditional secondary, I prefer a multi-bladed knife. That way I have a variety of different blade styles to use that are available to suit any task. And it also lets me keep a clean blade. For example, I can keep this clip point clean for cutting food. And then I have two good utility blades. But the problem with this knife is the nail nick on the clip point blade. The reason I didn't send this back is because I've had some of these other Boker tree brand knives and they've had the same problem. And if the knife is built right like this one, the odds of getting another one like this are not quite as good. So I'd rather take my chances and fix this myself. The nail nicks aren't deep enough and they're actually angled the wrong way. This, you could not, your thumb would flip right off here. You could not get this clip point out. The only way to get that clip point out would be to open up the sheep's foot. So then you can get your finger on this side and squeeze in the notch. Pull the blade halfway up. That was the only way possible to get this clip point out. The nail nick was that bad. Not only was it not deep enough, like I said, but it was actually sloped the wrong way, so your thumb would just slide right out of it. Your nail wouldn't hold in it. So I took this on a Dremel tool and I made that slot a little bit deeper. I went just a little bit too far on this side, but not too bad. I should have been a little farther over here. The setup I used to clamp the knife down, I had a clamp right here, so it wasn't letting me get the Dremel over quite far enough. Next time I do this, I'll probably use a block of wood, between the clamp and the knife, so that I don't have to worry about the Dremel tool, the cutting wheel, hitting my clamp. So the conclusion of this video, I'll be showing the process. You can see me actually grinding this nail nick out, and it works beautifully now. There's no problem at all. You can get your thumb right in there. It pulls out easy. Very easy. This knife does have pretty good action to it. It's a black bone. And on this side you can see there's a little bit of white sticking through. Now this does say Germany on it. Boker sources Chinese blades and some Chinese, and I'm not sure what other parts, but they do source some Chinese parts, guaranteed it's the blades, and then the knives are assembled in Germany. This does not say Solingen. So these knives that have Tree brand and they say Germany on the logo, they're not entirely produced in Germany. So you have to know what you're getting. The blades on this say high carbon stainless steel. I don't know what it is. It's probably some flavor of 420 HC or 440, something like that. And when you go to sharpen it, you can tell it's a steel in that class. So the steel is not bad. It's not the greatest, but it's better. I think it's a little bit better than Case's True Sharp. These are pretty nice knives. They're not bad price-wise. These come in at about $50. So stay watching for the remainder of the video, and you'll see the process of fixing the nail nick. So I have some wood clamped and a knife clamped down and a rest for the Dremel, and we're going to attempt to fix the nail nick. Now I have no problem grabbing the nail nick